for the Dodgers. It was electric stuff on the mound. There was presence there, and then he went through the ringer. 2021 Tommy John. Then he comes back at the end of 2022, and then going into 23 season, flexor tendon surgery and a Tommy John revision. 2024, he has an esophagus tear on a piece of lettuce that was, I think, a lot worse than people realized. And then 25, he gets traded to the Boston Red Sox. So it has been a grind for him to stay healthy, get back on the field. But when he's right, he can be a weapon, a serious weapon, because he can outstuff you. And he's doing things a little bit differently. He started at the beginning of last year, or kind of middle of last year, to kind of raise his arm angle a little bit, and it's given him more weapons. When I remember him coming up in 2020, these two pitches to Manny Machado, the dirtiest two-seamer you've ever seen. Watch this next one in Dodger Stadium. Manny Machado's face. I mean, come on, that's an alien pitch right there. That ball's running about 3-4 feet, two-seamer in. That's the stuff you see in your nightmares. Marcus Semien, low home with St. Louis, throwing that nasty two-seamer in, getting the check swing. So we're going to bring up his pitch movement profile. Okay, stay with me. The pitcher's throwing right here. And this is the paint splatter of what all his stuff does. So you start with the four-seamer, kind of stays true. You got the sinker out here with the changeup, again, stays true. Right here, you got the cutter, which we are going to get into because it's a new weapon for him, and it's a weapon that we saw increase in usage yesterday. The Milwaukee Brewers, you see Quinn Priester. There's been a lot of guys that have gone up there and upped the cutter usage. But I want to focus on sinker and then sweeper off of that, because what does that do? It takes the 17 inches. We talk about it all the time. Take 17 inches, turn it into 22, 23 inches, and now you lose sight of the plate. So he always had the ability to ram two-seamers in, and that would open up the sweeper away. So let's start with a couple ABs. Watch the movement on these pitches. Run that first pitch back for me. I want you to understand what you got to cover. This ball's going to come out in the right-handed batter's box and disappear behind Brandon Lau's feet. Okay? So he's already jumpy. This is explosive stuff. He gets back in the count with a cutter. Again, that wipeout sweeper. Again, wipeout sweeper. Four-seamer, top of the zone at 97. And he gives up on that pitch because he has lost the plate. He's had two go up under his feet, so he just thinks that's away, and he gets a call from Gary Sanchez using the ABS. Again, Endy Rodriguez right here. You get 98-mile-an-hour four-seamer and then back foot you with the dirtiest sweeper. So he has the ability to two-seam and sweep you, create that east-west. But what's interesting, you look at his pitch usage splits. The cutter on Thursday, he started to incorporate this in 2026 quite a bit. It was something he used about 8 or 9% of the time coming into this season. He upped it to 22%. He comes over to the Brewers. It's at 35%. So how has he been able to do that? Because if you think about it rationally, if you have a low arm slot, how are you supposed to get on the side of the ball and create cut? That's why he was able to create such nasty sink, because he had the low arm slot. Show me the side-by-side, the adjustments here. And we'll get it to arm release. Run this. It's in May of 2025 and July of 2026. Watch how much he's upped his arms. Look at how it's almost parallel, where he could create that nasty sink and that nasty sweep. He's raised his arm slot considerably. So now he can get on top of the cutter. He's got the ability to go four-seamer at the top of the zone, giving him way more weapons. It's a nice job by Lucas right there highlighting that. I'm going to take you through a few at-bats because he used it to Brian Reynolds quite a bit. Largest increase in arm angle from 2025 to 2026. Dustin May's on top of the board. Kumar Rocker, Max Meyer, Brian Bayo, Jack Kahanowitz out with the Angels, which is, yeah, he is almost double any of these other guys. So now he starts to incorporate just something else to put in the back of your mind. Brian Reynolds, what do you cover here? He's throwing you the kitchen sink. 0-1 changeup to get ahead 0-2. Again, there was your shot. 0-2 changeup. Now he's going to go wipe out breaking ball, changeup down, four-seamer middle cut, 0-2. Everything's in the zone or around the zone. He gets him in swing mode and throws a little high cutter to punch his ticket. Next time up, four-seamer top of the zone. Little backdoor cutter to get him back in the count. 2-1. Tries to go inside with a two-seamer, doesn't get it. Run that pitch back. I want people to understand, he just went two-seamer, paralyzing two-seamer, running back off his hip. Now he throws a cutter that Brian Reynolds gives up on because he thinks it's going to go back foot. It holds its line. Four-seamer top of the zone, and then he puts him away with a cutter. It's just too much to deal with. And then just when you start thinking you're going to get sinker, slider, cutter, sweeper, he tells Jacob Gonzalez, here's 96, here's 96, here's 97. Four-seamers right down your throat. So he's an interesting weapon for them. He didn't come cheap.